Alright, welcome to a new video. We've got the 1999 Honda 400EX here, and today we're going to attempt to turbocharge this thing. It sounds kind of insane, but we are going to attempt to put a turbo on this thing. It is carbureted, so it might be a little bit more challenging than dealing with fuel injectors, but we're going to attempt it. I saw one other video online, a Raptor 700, I believe it was a 2008 Raptor 700, that was fuel injected, and that one had a turbo. That thing was just insane. If you guys want to go look that video up, go look it up. It's pretty crazy. But I got the inspiration from that video, and that was posted maybe a couple of years ago. Why not try to put one on a Honda 400EX? I don't think it's ever been done before. Well, it probably has, just not shared to YouTube. But yeah, so I got a turbo on Amazon here, and it's a pretty good size one. You can see right here. And here's the brand, if you guys want to go look it up. Reviews on this thing were pretty decent. A couple people said that the bearings went out pretty quick, but that's probably because they didn't lube it up with oil. This one is a water-cooled and oil-cooled turbo, so there's a water inlet and outlet, and then you can use both, I believe. So we're going to cut off the water and just use the oil for this one, otherwise it's too complicated. And then I got a set of these. This is a water block off right here, so that'll block off the water for us. And then all these mounts are for mounting pipes and the carburetor too, and all that fun stuff. So this is going to mount on the quad somewhere, and we're going to attempt to get that installed today and start it up for the first time. We have a lot of work to do to get that thing modified to fit this thing. You can see it needs to connect to the pipe, and then needs to go back into the engine, and then also connect to the carburetor. So with a carbureted system, the carburetor actually has to sit on the outside of the turbo. So right here is the air inlet right here, and that's where the carburetor is going to sit. A lot of people with fuel injectors put the carburetor between the air outlet, which is right here, and the engine. So basically you have a tube coming up to here, and then you've got the carburetor and then the engine. For us, we're going to have a tube here, engine here, carburetor on the outside. Otherwise you have too much pressure and it pulls up the float in the carburetor and causes all sorts of problems. So we're going to bypass that problem and put it on the outside right here, and then put a filter on the end of the carburetor. Basically, if you guys don't know how a turbo works, basically the concept is that the exhaust hooks up to this right here, spins the turbine in there. You can see the little wheel, spins that, and it creates kind of like a compressed air, and it pushes it into the engine. And because there's more air in the engine, you need more fuel, which creates a bigger bang, and then you get a higher horsepower. So that's kind of how that works. And I'm pretty sure this turbo is rated for right around, I think maxed out at like 20 pounds of boost, pretty sure. I think most people make around 10, 15, maybe, I think on a good day. But we're hoping just to get at least some boost out of this thing. And if it works at all, it's a huge plus. So we're going to attempt to get that fitted on here today. It'll probably be sitting in the back here with the carburetor out the side, probably like right there, because it needs airflow. So we're going to see what the best way to mod that up is, but we're going to use the existing pipe right here, and I think we're going to wrap it around to the turbo right there, and then put the carburetor out the other side, maybe over here, because there's a little place over here. Right, maybe we can put like a tube down, or right out the back here. We'll have to figure it out. Alright, so let's first see if this thing will start up. I just bought a brand new battery for it 4 months ago, so we'll see if she runs here. Get this thing to on. Get some good gas flow going to it. Get the choke on. See if she starts up here. Well, she runs. It's about negative 16 degrees right now, so a little cold in the shop today. Running with the choke on for a bit here. Running pretty good. We'll let this thing warm up and then we'll start digging into it. But this is the baseline for how it sounds and how it runs. So we'll kind of be able to compare it when we add that turbo to it. Alright, so I'm thinking about putting it back here because that way we don't have to modify the pipe too much. We can just add some pipe to the existing pipe where it connects to the silencer. So let's get the seat out first and then start stripping some of that air box out. So you can see we've got a big air box space back here, which might be perfect. So we're probably, see, it cuts off right here for the silencer. So we might wrap a pipe around into here and put the turbo right here and have the carburetor stick out the back over here. And then have the exhaust go down and out just like the normal exhaust. That might work. Let's try to get the air box out first, air filter. And then we'll probably take the carburetor off too. We'll save all these parts for if we want to put it back to stock here. This thing needs an air filter clean anyway, so. Attached up there. Can't remember if it's not. We just have to make sure we don't go down too deep because we don't want it to hit the swing arm there. Now we've got the carburetor there as well. Let's just see how big the turbo is. So I'm thinking this thing's gonna go probably like, I'm thinking like that. Alright, that's off there. Got a couple headers that might work for this. Got like that. Kind of fits in there like that. Angles it back. I mean, we can cut these too, so it's not like... This one angles it back as well. And that bend might be okay because we could... We could cut it right there. That might be perfect. Because we have to feed it into here. So we might have to go... Actually, let's just see if we go directly into there. I wonder if we could even do that, where you put it off to the side right here. mount this sucker right to it, or pretty close to it, out the side. Then you could put the carburetor right where the air box would be, so then I can grab air right from the back. We'll have to figure it out. I'm gonna mess with that a little bit and try to figure out the best way to mount that. And then we'll have to come up with some mounts as well. Probably like a floating mount that we can put in there. Alright, I think I figured out the layout we're gonna go with. I don't know if it's the best one, but we're experimenting and we'll see what happens. So basically, I think we're gonna cut the pipe right here so the turbo can fit in there like that. It'll be down further level with the frame, so it'll be down like that. And then the carburetor can come in and sit right here in the front like that, and that'll be lower too, level with the frame. And then we can put the air filter still in there. There's still room. And then a pipe will come up. You can even go around to the intake, because this is where the pipe has to lead to. So we can get a pipe like this and lead it out of here. Obviously it needs to be straight, but to the intake of the engine. And then the exhaust is in the back already, so we can just shoot that out the back. So that is like perfect, I think. But I'll sit like that. We got the mount fitted right here, 3 bolts, and then this is like the perimeter that we're gonna weld the pipe to. So let's get this thing fitted up. Alright, we got that tack welded up. The weld is not pretty, but it is what it is. That's all I have for a welder right there, so that's what I'm working with. But the carburetor is going to go right here now. That's going to go like that. We're going to have to kind of tilt it up a little bit, but that should be like that. I think that's gonna look pretty good. Just like that, sitting in there. And there's enough room for an air filter as well, a small one, but yeah, there's plenty of room for the seat, plenty of room for everything else. And then this pipe, there's plenty of room for a bend, you can see. So we'll probably angle that like that, and then put a straight pipe like that. Alright, little update. I've been doing some welding and some customization on this metal, and we finally got the intake to kind of fit. So it goes from here into this, which is kind of like a place where fuel can just kind of stay. And I looked it up online, and it said that you want like a little bigger container right here in front so you don't have that leg. But yeah, that's what that's for. But yeah, everything is coming along pretty good. We have to get the carburetor on next. So this is just, like I said before, a mock setup here. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, and all the welding and stuff isn't all set yet or anything. But with the carburetor, we've got this tubing in here, and it's like probably a 1.5 inch to a 2 inch right here. And this is gonna go, I think we're gonna have the carb shoot out the back. So this is gonna go like, it's gonna sit like that. So it's gonna sit like that. And I think that will work. All right, let's set up this carburetor now. Get it all welded up. Should slide on, just like that. We'll see if that's gonna work for the position right there, but so far, I like that. We're gonna have to make a mount or something to hold the carburetor up, but it should hold up just by having this for right now. There. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the carburetor's a little bit close to the pipe right there. You can see that's kind of how that looks right there. I might have to get a 1 inch to 2 inch straight out, or I could probably cut that right there, but that's the only one I had around. But let's get the intake set up next, and that all sealed. I'm using some gasket maker around the holes that I see, just so that it doesn't have any leaks, but yeah, so far it's coming along. All right, a little closer look here. I covered all the cracks with some silicone just so that it wouldn't leak. But we're gonna try to get an oil line to fit up right here. Looks like that's the out. The in is right there, I believe. So if we can find like a banjo bolt and an oil line, that would be perfect. And then I can just feed some oil into there while this thing is running. I might cap the water thing off quick here. This is the water for water cooling. So let's cap that off, and then I'll shoot some oil into there while we try to start this thing up. Here we gotta get the throttle cable hooked up to the carburetor. I took it out from underneath the tank and then rerouted it, and it's like perfect length right now. So that goes right into there. So the cable is long enough, and then let's see, what else do we have to do? Oh yeah, we gotta get a gas line that goes all the way down. So I'll probably connect the filter to there and then another gas line down to there. All right, let's try starting this thing up. We've got the water line unhooked. I just put a bunch of oil in it, so we'll fill it up as we go for right now, as long as we don't run it too long. Maybe choke it. Huh. Maybe a stronger battery here. Doesn't want to run. I don't know if it can pull up that fuel that far. I'm a little bit worried about that. Alright, so I drilled a hole in the intake right here and then added a fuel bottle to it just so that it can help start it up, kind of like a choke. And then I just siliconed around that so there's no air leaks in it. But not the safest way to do it, but gotta do what you gotta do. So I just want to kind of test this out. We've got oil going in it. We're going to run it for like a brief second just to see if it starts up. If it does, we're going to see if the turbo works. That should spin and you should be able to hear it spin. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Spray a little fuel down here. Alright. We'll choke it right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Maybe turn this on. Start it up for a brief second. Doesn't look like it's sucking in gas though. I don't know if that turbo's going down there or not. I don't know if there's too many air leaks or what is going on. Get some more oil into this thing. Doesn't sound like it's getting gas. Let's see here. Doesn't want to stay running. I don't know what's going on with that. This basically only runs because that gas goes in there. It should push the fuel up through there. Maybe it's not making its way. Alright, we're going to try continuously feeding it fuel. See if it revs up a little bit longer. You hear the turbo going. You hear it spooling in there. But it's not idling. So it must not be getting fuel up through there. Leave comments down below what you guys think. I don't know. Alright, so it looked like the silicone wasn't completely dry because it looked like it sucked some of it in. So what we're going to do is let this dry completely. I covered every single air leak that there could possibly be. Every single weld I did, I covered it again with the silicone. So we shouldn't have any air leaks, and then I covered the exhaust as well. So there was a gap right there. I just covered that. This is just for testing purposes. Remember, it's not going to look like this when it's completely done. I'll re-weld everything and make it look nice and paint it up. But I think there was just like a major air leak. So it probably wasn't pulling gas up. It was probably pulling it right here and then out through there. So we really want it to pull the gas all the way up to there. If we can get it to pull gas all the way up, it should idle and run perfect. Also, obviously we're going to have to mess with the jetting and put some bigger jets in it. And we also have to get an oil tank and some oil lines running to this thing. I don't want to burn up the bearings right away. So this is the oil tank I found. We're gonna try to find some fittings for this. And then there's one down here. So one will run down into the side right here, right there, for an oil line. And then I'll get a pump and it will pump it back up into the side right here. I think that's what we're gonna do. And this I'll mount somewhere on the machine here. But yeah, it's coming along. Obviously a lot of work left to do. We have to get a boost gauge. Usually the gauges go right in here. So I drilled that hole already, so maybe we can tap into that and then route it up to the handlebars up there for a boost gauge if we can get this thing working. And then, yeah, we'll have to figure it out. But that's gonna be part one. And part two, we'll try to get the oil tank hooked up. We will try to get this thing running right, and then hopefully take it for the first ride. This thing's gonna fly if we can get this thing running. It's just gonna be like crazy, crazy torquey. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Leave your comments down below, what you guys think I should change. Obviously, this is my first time doing this, so any recommendations would be very helpful. So take a look at it. If you guys see something that's not right, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to fix it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for part two. And until next time, we are